Hey, this podcast holds nothing sacred. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Welcome. My name is Marcos, and with me I have Mr. G. Say hello to the people, Mr. G.
Hello, people. Hello there.
Let's slide in with Mr. G. How do you feel? Are you happy with how we're doing right now with the season transitioning?
Just happy to be alive right now. That's all I can say for what's going on right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy to be alive right now. Remember, the season's changing. Make sure to take your vitamins, all your vitamin C, all those things, because we don't want to get sick right now when we're getting out of the winter weather. Like those ups and downs can catch us off guard, okay?
Definitely. We got to pump your system with some iron as well.
There you go. And so now, obviously, us as the people, we can pump ourselves with vitamins and all those things. But since we're working in podcast, we're using our phones, we're doing all those things in computers, how can we pump up the vitamins or how can we optimize our PCs or personal computers to be, if you will, more vitamins, more optimized for this changing weather or the hard use we give them? Well, sometimes we have to update their drivers, right, Mr. G?
That's true. Definitely true.
If you will, the drivers is the vitamins. I'd like to say, you can prove me wrong in the comments, that the vitamins of the PCs are the drivers. Would you agree or disagree with that?
No, I definitely would agree, because we have to keep them updated and fresh, so our computer doesn't lag, just like the vitamins that we need for our body.
Amen. So, with that, let me slide in with the segments, if you will. Let me weave you a story of the stuff that some inspired by Mr. G over here. Thank you, by the way. And others I shared to him, to Mr. G, and I want to hear his thoughts, if you will. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the LTS Podcast on March 14th, 2026, where we're somehow only 3 months into the year, and March Madness has already devolved into digital sadness. But if you look behind the curtain, it is the 14th after all, and the only light at the end of this tunnel is the terminal glow of a Linux kernel coming to save your soul from the corporate wreckage. Allegedly. We don't want to catch any case, right?
No, definitely don't. But I feel like they put a case on us either way just to stretch fans out of.
Oh, Lord. No, please. Pray, knock on wood, everything, Take your extra vitamins. Kicking it off with segment 1. The digital trenches. The Linux hero versus hardware warfare. 2026. Deep in the trenches, huh? Digitally speaking, of course. Where high-end PC ownership is less a hobby and more a full-time battle against who? Your own hardware, right? Let's kick it off with Linux, quote, hero, end quote, arc, the great migration. What's the history about? Because this is a long time coming, by the way, Mr. G. The Linux gaming ecosystem has quietly reached a 2026, quote, gold standard, thanks to perfected translation layers. Mind you, Linux is open source, so there had to be people working in the back end, not getting paid, by the way, and just doing this by the love of the game, if you will. Or maybe paid, sponsored by who? I don't know. But what are the receipts?
Sponsored by the CIA.
God dang, no, knock on wood. No, we don't want to catch a case, allegedly. Oh, no.
Computer Institute of America.
Right. Okay, who? Okay, don't make me sweat over here. It's cold, and I don't want to catch a cold, or a case, I mean. Okay, NVIDIA's 580.126.18 Linux driver just dropped to fix critical compatibility with kernel 6.19, proving Team Green is finally taking the quote hero OS end quote seriously. And what's the T, if you will? Windows. Yeah.
See, I was going to say, I've never known for Linux being running for video game operating system. I was seeing more like hacking or government work.
Wow. On my end, I always knew that it was people that really wanted to, like, a fine-tooth control every single action on their PC for their personal work. And it's free. If you can download it from a library computer, you can just plug it into. The running joke online is that you can run Linux on a toaster. So if it's for government machines, you best believe that is going to be needing. You're correct on that side. I never thought about it that way. Today I learned something. Well, let me hit you with this tea. While Windows is, quote, stuttering, end quote, SteamOS, and mind you, there's different versions, aka flavors of Linux. So there's a whole world. One could look exactly like Windows and be called Linux, but not catch a case because it's not proprietary Windows. And the other one is just looks nothing like a PC that we can think of, and it's still just looking like the Matrix running code, obviously with the terminals and you typing in code and all those things. Still Linux, if you will. The graphic user interface is a world of the possibilities to become different compared to Windows, which has very confined standards compared to Linux. But SteamOS, the one that launches games, is also launching a console, but beforehand launched the software SteamOS, and another one called public sourced or open sourced. It's called Bazite, are being reported as the secret weapons, end quote, for pro players who need a clean, zero bloat environment for tournament level stability. An example, or the receipt for the situation, at the recent Winter Invitational, 4 out of 5 finalists, mind you, finalists, it was a whole tournament bracket, were caught running custom Bazite OS builds to bypass Windows timing issues. They were allowed to run Linux on their PCs, and these PCs had the compatibility of the drivers with the NVIDIA graphics card. May that be the 50 series, the 40, the 30, all the way down to the 10 series. It just...
Wow.
List. They made it through the whole tournament arc, if you will, and 4 to 5, which is 90% of them.
And they allowed this?
And yeah.
They didn't disqualify them? Because technically, if it's a competition, it should be a level playing field.
It was the playing field was the hardware, not the software.
Oh.
And they weren't caught cheating using, if you were clicks or anything like that. It was all standard. It's like in the F1, you know how they're supposed to use a certain intake kind of engine, a certain amount of horsepower, a certain amount of design on the airflow of the body of the car. At the end of the day, it was just the driver, not the car, that shines through, if you will. Well, this was the same thing. They put a submission, this is the hardware that I'm using. They were obviously had to show what their computers were running, but when reporters were coming around, this guy's using Linux, this guy's using, what, 4 to 5? Yeah. Now, what's the highlight here? Switching to Linux in 2026 is no longer a niche technical flex. It is an act of digital liberation from Windows OS level AI telemetry, if you will. Now, what's the receipt on this? A clean install of Arch Linux shows barely 1.2 gigabytes of RAM usage at idle compared to a bloated 8 gigabyte on the newest Windows, quote, Pro, end quote, builds. Look out, everyone. Big guy over here. What do you think? That's why you can run Linux on a USB stick.
This is out of my realm. Because I've seen many pages come across my social media feed that is just showing, as you said, even with Linux running off of USBs. I've seen this where they had Minecraft running on pregnancy tests, one of the digital pregnancy tests.
Bro.
This is all out of my realm, what you're speaking right.
The weirdest thing talking about that is that someone was able to run Linux on a e-cigarette, and the little screen on that, a vape, run Doom on that little monitor because it had like 3 gigabytes of data of RAM or storage, whatever. It was able to handle Doom. Obviously not well, but still handle it. Let me hit you with the trench warfare, the Windows and GPU crackdown. What's the history with this? Windows background processes and, quote, safety envelope, end quote, driver lockdowns have turned gaming into a stutter-filled slog. The receipt, if you will. The February, hold on, let me take a breath. Okay, KB5077181 update. Try saying that 3 times in a row, is triggering rhythmic stuttering on high-end rigs, with users reporting a 15 milliseconds latency spikes every minute. That is the entire difference between a W or an L in the pro gaming world. 15 milliseconds. And you know these guys have 120 frame rate or 200 plus refresh rate on the monitor. 15 milliseconds for them, they win or lose with that.
Yeah, that definitely is, especially if you're playing a game like I believe it's called Valiant or even Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Call of Duty, Battlefield, or anything like that. That frame rates are what makes the difference. Or CSGO.
CSGO.
Counter-Strike, it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's the T, if you will? The latest GPU drivers are reportedly limiting voltage headroom to reduce warranty claims on specific high-demand card batches. This reminds me of the iPhone's, quote, battery gate, if you will, end quote, throttling from 2017. In both cases, users' performance is sacrificed to protect the corporate bottom line. Do you remember the whole drama during the what a time, right? Almost 10 years ago, by the way, that people were saying since before then, like in 2013, 2015, no man, my iPhone is slowing down. My iPhone's slowing down. There was a lawsuit.
Yes, definitely. What?
And I think iPhone lost.
Yeah.
But they were saying, oh, we want to make sure you get the best quality to your hardware. We have to sacrifice the processing because it will overheat and hurt your processor, your battery. So what do we sacrifice? We sacrifice the power on the iPhone, not the voltage, but the slow it becomes. And there was a lawsuit and it was proven. Same thing with graphics cards now. Aside from that, you're correct. There is a shortage, so maybe that can be interconnected, saying that because there's so many, we don't have spare parts to repair them. So what can we do? We can throttle them. Well, guess what? This is the PC world where modifying is normal, or over throttling, overclocking, if you will, or over voltage. Mind you, NVIDIA made them out of the factory strong enough, but since they're not in the recommended range, they're gonna fail sooner, and they're within warranty. Yeah. Want to hear the receipt? Well,
definitely do.
Here it goes. NVIDIA driver 595.71, which came out on March 4th, 2026, ignores manual afterburner locks, which is a BIOS feature, if you will, and within your PC that you can set parameters or limits of voltage for your computer to give to the graphics card. If your hardware isn't capable of giving that amount of voltage, it will provide it to the graphics card. And Force's RTX 50 series, which came out like earlier this year, which forced these cards down to approximately 1 volt, effectively breaking overclocks over 150 megahertz. They ruined them. People who customize the instruction in the BIOS of your PC, they're done. Anything above 150, you can't use those areas anymore. What's the highlight? Yeah. The undervolt, what has happened since then, as of earlier this month? Mind you, this is the 14th, as of the recording right now. The undervolt revolt. Users are sharing modified legacy drivers just to reclaim the 10 to 15% performance gain that the newest, quote, optimized, end quote, software essentially deleted. The receipt here is that overclockers have documented a 200 megahertz loss in sustained clocks on driver that I previously mentioned, 595.71, compared to the January build. 200, basically 50 megahertz gone. If you're playing anything at 151, like they can play to those ranges, they're capable of it. Obviously, they wear out faster. What would be an example on cars, if you will? Mr. G, you have a warranty on your car, right? And you're always putting it at the red at any chance, right? Red light, green light, you're just flooring, foot down to the pedal. If you have a stick shift, you go up to 5th or at 3rd. Obviously, you have to follow the road rules, but If you like to live a little bit wild, you floor it right any chance you get because you want to get to A to B, or you want to be the first person there. May that be whatever reason, but you put more stress on your car parts, right?
Yeah.
And from the factory, they're designed to within certain parameters. But if you're constantly putting the engine to red or to its high RPMs on the red constantly, you're going to wear them out faster. And
especially in seals,
right? And there's a high possibility that you are going to have to use those warranties more constantly. So
that's why I always offer you that extended warranty.
There you go. Well, these people over here with the PC parts, from the start, they're always like putting it on the red by the start to get every single drop of power, of capabilities, every advantage they can. Because imagine, they're always racing in those games. They want their computer to be at 100%. May that be rendering video, animating, playing Call of Duty, whatever. They can do that on the PC. But it could be linked, like you said, to the shortage of parts. So they can't fix these claims more consistently. So what do? They put a governor. There you go. It's a governor, right?
Not too sure, I think so.
What's a governor normally in the car?
So the governor is essentially to limit the speed. So yes, you are right.
I'm a theory, and if you know about cars, you can play with that governor. May that be on the computer or physical cars, depending how confident or how good you are. So these guys on the computer, the BIOS is you manipulating the governor in a car. And obviously you're going to wear out the parts more quickly. You're going to use that warranty. These guys at the factory don't have enough spare parts or replacement GPUs, graphics cards. So what do? They try to fix it by locking anyone out that's out there of their safety ranges. Obviously, they have engineers knowing where the optimal revs or whatever on the graphics card is going to be for them to last longer. It's not the same to a case-by-case basis. It's like saying everyone has a standardized governor on their... this is me, pie in the sky. Everyone has a Ferrari, if you will. And everyone's governor is locked at 80%. Even the guys racing on F1 are locked at 80%. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun.
Exactly. We're not going to be seeing the peak, the prime drivers pushing those cars to the limit because they're stuck at 80%. If you will, by the factory, not by law, by factory, because there's not enough parts to sustain either replacing parts or just repairing them.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be shedding light that there's not enough parts. I like the way you thought on that one.
Yeah, because I swear they're doing this intentionally. Because perfect example, it don't sound weird.
Bro, they're not even stopping you from buying warranty. Are they going to say no to that money?
They do it with food as well.
What do you mean?
They definitely do it with food as well. Because sometimes, these packaging dates, I don't think that can always treat those best buy dates. Yes, but there is food that is definitely best by a certain date. But I think that they're definitely kind of pushing me.
Of course, man. Yeah, if you've had food poisoning, I don't recommend it.
No, definitely I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Bro, I don't wish it on anyone.
I wish it on my work.
But goddamn. Hey, you heard it here, folks. We don't want to catch a case, but you heard it here. Now, even when you shut down the rig and finally want to touch grass, the 2026 festival circuit proves that, quote, escaping into the real world is just another high-stakes logistical puzzle where your dignity and bank account remain at risk. What do you think, Mr. G?
For those who are really, really die-hard gamers, tech guys who stay on top of everything, I pray for their wallets. The more times than not, that's where they dedicate their time too. So why not, right? If it makes them happy.
Right.
I definitely. But speaking about 2026 forecast, there's a lot of festivals coming up. There's a lot of hype and chaos around.
Right.
Because as you can see here, as we're walking into the 2026 festival forecast, there's a desperate urge to find escape points that puts you in the wallet. I don't listen to another reason. To a spiritual awakening, just I don't like the sun. Anything that's got your pockets looking really thin is all about me. About your pocket looking hefty. That's why we should have bought some oil before Venezuela should have came in. But hey, we're not Barron Trump, right?
Who can see the future, man? Who?
I know. Well, if we were politicians, we could.
Maybe. Allegedly.
We should run for Congress 2028.
You heard it here
Marcos and
first.
Mr. G.
G up.
That's true, but man, every year they have the juggalos. I'm not too sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the insane clown posse, but man, those crazy guys.
You gonna learn today.
You definitely are, because the receipt is 2026 marks the 26th annual event, which was remaining the only major U.S. festival with 0 corporate sponsors or outside brand presence. And that's big, because
Yes, sir.
corporate is
Everywhere.
involved everywhere in America. That's another CIA, corporate in America.
Yes.
But the highlight is that Fago Armageddon, which is a local legend that we distributor reported an order of 12,000 cases of mist red pop for the main stage pressure can. Could you imagine? You're just there vibing out, seeing a whole bunch of weird stuff going on, and all of a sudden you're
Bam.
and then you just get a face full of lead pop.
At that point, you're not gonna get expired, man.
Yeah, at that time you're just gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Oh my gosh. But on the lighter note, they have Shambhala, which they have their big digital buying done. So the receipt of that one is the Salmo River branch that maintains 100% renewable energy prior to 2026, and that is fueled by 28 years independent infrastructure. That's a lot of skin in the game. You know the ups, downs that they have to do with that. How would you fare that, Marco?
First off, they had to be losing. It has to be tax write-off somewhere. I don't know, man. If it's renewable, allegedly, how about that? Let's say allegedly renewable. Tax credits, no. I don't know. I'm just throwing darts here.
But they also do it for the love of the game. Because at a lot of these festivals, the high-level people are involved in private equity.
I didn't think about that.
Because, it costs thousands upon thousands of dollars to travel there, to shut up parking passes that people are paying for, individual day tickets, VIP tickets, man. Private equity is all over.
Right.
And hence why, with this highlight for this year, they have the Sham AR app, which is a beta metadata that reveals a hidden waypoint labeled Stage 7, which is buried in the fractal forest for invite-only biocenter sites.
There's your money right there.
Yes.
Who's gonna pay more? Well, it's gonna be the top VIPs, probably.
See, I don't think this is about paying more, man. I think this is about ushering something sinister. Because check this out, right? You remember Pokemon Go and the whole craze of that thing? People were just trying to catch virtual Pokemon through an app.
Yeah.
Did you know the real reason that they released that? So behind it was a data company. And essentially what they were doing, they were geotagging and geologging and doing like geo locations for, I forgot the name of their app or their tool, but it was just a front. So they got people to do all of this for free, opposed to them going out how Google does it with their maps.
They pulled with people's heartstrings or nostalgia.
Yes, they definitely did. CIA, corporate in America.
At least there has to be more countries, but let's keep it in America, right?
I know, right? But check this out.
Yes,
everybody follows the Western civilization culture, if you think about it.
Yeah, this was like the market, if you will.
It definitely is. And speaking about corporate in America, Ibiza 2026.
Yes, sir.
Hedge fund is all over. Neon technocrats. How? And the receipt of that one is the Vibar, which is an AI lawsuit filed in Madrid for what? I think that's what about like early this week, March 10th, 2026, I believe.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and it claims the UNVRS biometric entry system uses discriminatory profiling to reject ticket holders at the door.
Ticket holders.
So you're already buying. I'm already paying thousands of dollars to get over here and enter. And then you want to deny me?
You don't fit the profile we're looking for.
Like, bro, what? I'm
a paying customer. I want the goods for the amount the service that I was promised.
I don't know, man. This is screaming exclusivity.
Could it be just hype as well?
A certain demographic, people should be involved in these things.
Hey, there you go. And this one's not in America. This one's in the Europe over there. The European. They got their drama too. Yep.
But the highlight though is that Carl Cox is returning for a 20-year residency at Asia. And it's featured a 360 holographic soundscape powered by a 64-channel acoustic array. Like, I swear at these big festivals, a lot of these media and tech companies are just, testing stuff.
Yes.
Definitely not. They have to be.
This is why they get big bucks names and obviously a lot of buyers.
Man, talking about big bucks and buying. This man, Jared, is back at his bullshit again. He didn't learn the first time. He did not learn the first time. Why is the Fyre Festival back?
One
Did
more
he try to
game.
make a comeback last year and it flopped?
Yes, it
do
did.
It again?
He said again.
God. One more game!
He doesn't learn.
Well, in America, people love a good comeback story.
He's not an underdog. Come on.
You don't think so? I think he's still an underdog right now. Because the first Fyre Fest was a whole debauchery, man. It was a shit show.
Amen. Look, even the guys selling their mixtapes are promising better service because they're giving you the mixtape up front. May that be good or bad. Choice is yours there, but they're giving you a product for the money, mixtape at hand, cash at hand, and have a nice day kind of style. But you're still getting a mixtape.
Well, mixtape, but what is a mixtape gonna do if there's over 5,000 tickets sold and only 3 vessels have been chartered for a quote-unquote yacht festival? So what, we supposed to be packed like sardines?
I mean, talk about exclusive, right?
Hey, people want to be in that VIP intimate setting. All that
it
down.
says yacht. The tin says yacht. It's a dinky boat, but it's a yacht, not allegedly.
But what if they actually chartered other yachts, but it's just a ploy? Because they don't want people to really know how great it is.
Hit me with the tea. There has to be tea about this.
Well, what I see here, there were leaked permits for the Playa del Carmen site, and it revealed that the event was authorized only for 250 person at that listening party. It's recorded music, not the 1,800 person live concert promised. Hey, man, I don't know. What do you think about it?
So you're saying there's a mixtape happening?
Mm-hmm.
So why not get like somebody over here in the street selling their mixtape and just play it over there in the speakers, man? That's what they're basically got a permit for.
Wow.
Is Tiesto or is who else? Carl Cox heading there? Because he's already stuck in Ibiza.
You never know. Listen, man, as much money as these people have, it's nothing to charter a flight and back.
Or life insurance. It has to be. There's something. I don't know, man.
Oh, body doubles. The CIA. Cloning Institute of America.
Is this the tagline? Everything is CIA and just a different name to it? Maybe. Who knows? Allegedly. How about that?
Yes.
There we go. I like that one.
On today's alleged episode of the LTS podcast,
we're alleging a lot of things, right? Now, whether you're dodging mud or subpoenas, the community always pays for corporate failure. And right now, there's another corporation, if you will, or industry that has followers or fans, if you will, left in the air, left hanging, if you will. Well, I'm talking about the anime world. Yes, I know. I'm going in. Ready?
Let's go.
The anime world is reeling as its biggest library goes dark, leaving fans drifting in the digital grand line, searching for their next binge. Mind you, a lot of basically right now with the anime industry, there's services that you can watch anime. They're not legal, so basically piracy. I'm not telling you to watch pirated websites of your favorite show. I'm not telling you that, but I'm not stopping you neither. So everything I say now is an allegation, allegedly. I'm not saying this is what I found. I'm not recommending anything, but here's the report, if you will, with anime news. The fall of the giants, the death of high anime, and the rise of light anime. What's the history about this? Well, high anime officially shut down on March 13, 2026. leaving a black page and a farewell message to the community. What's the receipt here? Well, traffic analysts are recording a 45% surge in migration towards light anime. The current trending as of the last 24 hours, the successor, if you will, that is already being targeted by the ACE. What's ACE, by the way, Mr. G?
Lines for Creativity and Entertainment.
Man, there's this anime called One Piece, and there's a character named Ace, same way, and he's just chasing down the target. This reminded me, though, that this agency basically is the Global Anti-Piracy Coalition. Is what? Did Whitebeard send them? Like, that's the name of another pirate that sends out the law, if you will, aka Ace. This is just like, my head over here is just spinning like, anime is referencing real life, or is real life referencing anime? Even down to the name, by the way, of Ace. My head just spinning over here. Right? Which one is first? Well, with this highlight, this shutdown is a direct callback to those, quote, unlocked TV boxes sold at farmers market. I think you and I talked about that, Mr. G, in the previous episode, right?
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, well, turns out that not only is the pirated websites for anime and these TV boxes prove that piracy is a service problem, and as long as legal platforms like Crunchyroll, Netflix, Disney, Hulu hike up their prices, right? By, in this case, Crunchyroll 15%, using robots, bots, AI, if you will, subs to fluff up their numbers, the community will build its own homegrown saves. What do you think? Like, historically, piracy was because somebody saw a demand for a service. It wasn't legal. Blues running. There was a demand for hauling booze everywhere. Even though it was illegal for a while in the United States, there were corporations or entrepreneurs that were just hauling alcohol, and the prison time was just worth it, right?
Mm-hmm. That's how NASCAR got started.
There you go. Talking back to cars, man. Again, it's services, and the services saying, I'm a G. I'm not you, Minister G. I'm the greatest, right? So I'm gonna hike up my prices. What's gonna happen? Other services are gonna be over here in the trenches, may that be digitally or hauling illegal goods. I'm not saying that you should do it, but if people are still demanding for the product, even though you're not getting it in a legal way, it's too expensive, people are gonna think of solutions of how getting it for you to get it cheaper and get your fix. May that be drinking, may that be watching anime, or developing, like you said, NASCAR. What do you think, Mr. G? The more time passes, man, the more things stay the same.
This shit just get depressing.
I think this also proves that we're living in a simulation. Like, there was like, for example, another brand called Chipotle. I don't know if you've ever had that.
Oh, yes.
Well, I remember I had it one time. Like, I have this stereotypical food at home and it's better. I had it once. I had the burrito with rice. I'm like, and this was like in 2014, 15, whatever, right? I'm like, this isn't bad. It's just shop and everything. I'm like, I think I'm jaded. Why? Because I would have this in the little dinky dark hole in the wall, and I was, oh, this is good. Versus me having the equivalent of a McDonald's or a Five Guys. I'm like, this doesn't feel right, man. I don't. It feels too bougie, even though it's just a Five Guys. And I'm not saying Five Guys is bougie.
No, I totally agree with you.
Even them, they're better than McDonald's, but Chipotle, little by little, once they became popular, what did they do? They hiked up their prices. And they said, we're the only game here. But like these moms and pops, these bodegas, they don't compete.
There's so many better places than Chipotle. Even in the same category. Salsa Fresca is
the
way
guacamole,
better.
rice and beans.
Moe's is way better than Chipotle.
Just the bodegas have better rice and beans. Some.
Yeah, that's debatable.
That's debatable. You're right.
All across the board, every place you go to.
There you go. Yes, I concur with that. Like
Salsa Fresca is good.
Bro, that's hard, right? Yeah, I guess. That's just like where, like, even though if the place is a hole in the wall to me, I've literally had this food on the side of a dirt road, and the food was great. I'm like, this is not food safe. You know, the guy's cooking out in the air outside, and it's just a dirt road with carriages and horses just going by. I'm like, Food's great, man. Food's great. As a horse carriage just goes like, I'm just eating, and I'm sitting on this on a plastic stool or a bucket and just eating like, oh, this food's good. Like my experiences, my criteria for food or the environment is so low that I'm like, again, Chipotle or like, this feels too bougie. I'm not supposed to be here kind of thing. But the food is bad and expensive.
Yeah, that's why I hate that. When you're paying a lot of money for horrible food.
Exactly. So
That's
what
not a lot
happens
of time,
there?
man.
Yeah.
You got this guy.
This is where entrepreneurs could try to slide in and give you a better deal. You'd hope.
No, okay. Sure, but this same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna just follow the same handle that corporate does. Once they get in there, follow in there.
If you value these digital patch guides, if you will, and the storm chase through legal shipwrecks, spot yours truly a coffee. It's the high-octane fuel, the energy that keeps this podcast sailing the high seas, not doing illegal things, knocking on wood, For the lawyers listening out there, nothing illegal was here. We just did the research and told you the put together story about what's going on out there. And obviously, Mr. G here or any other co-host over here, we're just analyzing it with our personal experience. So hopefully nobody here catches a case.
No, we just attended the Commercial Institute of Analyzation.
Yes, of America.
Yes, CIA.
CIA.
Yes.
Right. Now, whether you catch the chaos, may that be on YouTube, Spotify, and beyond, remember to like, follow, share, and check the show notes for support. Stay grounded, keep those drivers updated, and yourself with vitamins and your nutrients, right? Stay yourself strong and remember, and your brain sharp, because why? Remember, what's the true boss that we have to fight nowadays?
Taxes.
Right? Taxes. It's almost tax season. The true boss we fight is the fine print. Always read the fine print.
Yes, we must. Because the next thing you know, we might get a kid.
No, please, no. Allegedly. Right. Too right. That's too real, man. That's too real.
Nah, you never know nowadays. You ever seen TLC where sometimes people end up getting the wrong procedure done?
Well,
that's why you gotta read the fine print.
With my surgeries, they tell you, you're gonna have, for my eye surgeries, for my situation, what eye surgery you're gonna have, the left or the right? The left eye, the right eye, and they put an X above the eye that they're gonna do the surgery. Like, this is the one they're gonna do it. Yes, please make sure that it's the correct one. I've heard horror stories of people being left with gauze or some medical instrument in their body by accident, obviously, not on purpose. That really scares me, man.
Yeah, but you never know. No.
That's too real. Even if you're getting into that surgery room, if you can say, what are you gonna do to me? We're gonna do blah blah blah, this. Okay, go ahead, and you just fade away.
Anesthesia just gets to you.
One hell of a drug.
Nothing happens. It definitely is, man.
Where am I? Who am I? Who is you?
Nitrous scares me a little. I've seen people were waking up from the dental procedures with nitrous.
Huh? Isn't that for the dent? Like it's like Twilight, like you're half awake, half asleep.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Just nothing recorded up here.
Yeah, you just spitting out your dark, deepest secrets that you buried within your soul.
You're gonna say, bro, I really want to go to Disney.
Disney? Man, Disney World? What do you think is better, Disneyland or Disney World?
Honestly, neither. It's not. I just did it as a joke. It doesn't call to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, the Disney World. Nah. It's not that it's too rich for me. It's just like not my cup of tea.
I heard the one in China or Japan is a whole lot better.
Probably the Japan one, because they know how to deal with crowds. I mean, even though it was made here in the U.S., again, the corporate institutes of America made it come to life here. But I feel like those Asian countries refined it because they deal with more people constantly, millions of people.
Yes.
Right? With that, Do you want to say something to the people, Mr. G? That you want to give them some words of wisdom?
Live every day as your last, people. Time is fleeting. Your biggest enemy is yourself. Step out your own way in all that you believe you can achieve, especially with the help of God.
Amen. Amen with that one.
Yes,
With
yes.
that one. Yes. With those powerful words, people, I bid you adieu. Thank you, Mr. G,
Thank
for
you,
joining
big
me.
guy. Highly
Thank you.
appreciate
That one, people, stay blessed out there. Stay safe.
it. Signing out.
Signing out.